How's it going, folks? Welcome back to another Ranger Talk video. And today I'm talking to none other than guitar player extraordinaire, Samuli Federley. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me, buddy. All good in here in Finland. How are you? All good?
Good. Yeah, doing well. I appreciate it. And thanks for taking the time to talk with me. Means a
Yeah,
lot.
sure thing, man. Great to
Sweet.
be here.
Thank you. And all right, so I know you play guitar, right?
Yeah,
That's what you
yeah,
do.
that's my
Sweet.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So when did you first start playing guitar, and when did you first like discover your love for actually playing guitar?
Yeah, I've been playing for over 30 years, so it's been with me forever since I was a little kid, around 8 years old or something like that. So my dad also plays guitar, so back at my childhood home, we had always guitar lying down. So it was just a matter of time when I would pick up the guitar and start strumming.
Yeah. So you
So
started when you were 8, but did you love it when you first started, or did it feel more of kind of like an obligation, like, oh, I'm expected to play guitar?
no. My parents never pushed me in that direction. I was just watching my dad play and thought, hey, that looks cool. So let me try a little bit also. And actually, he didn't even teach me much. Uh, I think he only showed me the power chords for "Here I Go Again" by Whitesnake.
Yeah, okay. That's a good
So I was
place to
like,
start.
yeah, I remember him playing the chorus. Hey, son, look at this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's the coolest thing ever. Yeah. So um, it's been so long time ago that I cannot really remember how it felt back then, but I loved it for sure. And pretty early on, I went to have some music or guitar classes in a
Hmm.
local music school, but that was more like classical music. So
Yeah.
I wasn't into that, even though I love classical music, but the teaching method was a little tough for a young child. And
Sure.
I wanted to play Van Halen and this stuff, and he was like showing me these etudes. So
Yeah. It's like
yeah,
at the time you're just like, yeah.
after 2 years putting up with that, I quit that and got private lessons from my dad's friend who was a professional guitar player. So that was cool, and from there on, it started to build up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. So you got to play what you wanted to at that point. It's like, all right, now we're getting places here.
exactly. Yeah, then we did what I wanted. It was like Van Halen, Steve Ray Vaughan stuff, and we'd played this big guitar uh, music by these guitar gods.
Yeah,
So
gotcha. Awesome.
yeah.
And so uh, what type of guitar do you predominantly play now? I mean, I know you play some power metal.
Mhm.
What other styles do you play?
Well, I actually love it all. I also studied jazz for almost 8 years in polytechnics in Helsinki.
Wow.
And I actually graduated as a guitar teacher with jazz music. So yeah,
Wow. I
you've
bet
never
that's
know.
fun.
It's fun. I love to play jazz, but I don't. Um, Sometimes for me it's a little boring to listen to, but it's more fun to play. Yeah, and also love classical actually. Uh, I also released a classical album with me playing classical kind of hits with
Mhm.
electric guitar. So it's a little different. It's not neoclassical like Ingve. It's more like respecting the original arrangements,
Yeah.
with symphony orchestra and not giving the arrangements this kind of neoclassical
Yeah.
uh, touch, and yeah, then well, I have my signature 8-string guitars, so I like to use those for my solo stuff, which is can be described as some kind of mainly instrumental metal, I would say, but it has elements from electronical, classical, for pop music. So I hate to call my music like metal because then you think it's only metal, but it has elements of from everything, but the foundation is metal, I would say.
Gotcha. That's so cool that you just have such a wide array of styles that you like to play and all that. I guess that keeps you interested and not just getting bored with, if you just do one style, you like to play a whole bunch of different, whatever you're feeling, right?
Exactly, yeah. And the critics, they don't appreciate that. They often call my music like it's too versatile, and sometimes people don't, they cannot understand why can you have a pop song on the same album and some metal stuff and maybe some experimental. But I think the guitar playing and the overall sounds, they kind of blend it all nicely together. So it's not like just random songs from different genres. I still try to keep it kind of
Connected in
like
some way. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't like just sound like a mixtape. Like this song is way different from this one, and there's no connection. Like you kind of weave them together in a way. So yeah, that's really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks. And then I also try to sing a little bit. I have some vocal songs, and do all the arrangements by myself, and try to keep it interesting and versatile.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. And you'll have to send me links to some of this stuff and I'll include it in the description just so folks can go check out some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, of course.
I released my latest album earlier this year. I can't remember. I think it was February.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, I haven't even listened to that myself. I'll have to give that a listen without a doubt. So that's exciting. Yeah, man. And so you do some solo stuff where you kind of write and arrange everything yourself, but you're also part of other projects as well. You lend your guitar prowess to things like that. Do you like doing that? What sort of projects are you part of?
Yeah, I love it. I also work as a session guy, and sometimes this session hires they go a little bit further than just recording some guitar tracks. We might even do shows and do some live business. So I'm actually at the moment I'm doing recording guitars for Renegade Angel EP.
Yes,
as you know, that will be a very nice recording when it gets out later this year, I hope.
Sweet.
So for example, this guy Yanni, he sent me an email and asked if I can do some crazy guitar playing. So I was, yes, sure, let's do it. And he sent me his demos, and I recorded my parts here in my home studio, and we did music videos. I think there will be 3 songs and 3 videos. And
awesome. Yeah, it's a great project. Just doing some killer power metal. Do you really like power metal?
Yeah, I do. From metal genre, I also like it, like almost every genre. But as a kid, I used to listen to Stratovarius.
Oh,
They are Finnish band.
Of course.
So of course I know them, and Sonata Arctica.
Yes.
Another Finnish band, and Halloween. What else? I think those are the main.
Guardian, it all, yeah.
Yeah, and well, those are the main ones I would say, and also I like Dream Theater, and those guys have side of power metal side also.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed good melodies, and I think power metal also allows you to play
Crazy.
yeah, lots of notes, yeah, like insane,
Yeah.
more is more. So this genre allows you to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, just really just let loose and then go crazy. Very cool. So, it's
Yeah,
funny that you mentioned from Renegade Angel, Yanni. He actually told me, actually, I think, and I quote, he said that you were like the Indiana Jones of guitarists because you travel all over the world.
yeah.
So yeah, so what kind of places do you go to? Are you constantly traveling around to do these projects and such?
Um, yeah, it's getting crazier all the time. Yeah, I started 15 years ago to when I had my first shows abroad. So and this last year, I have been to South Korea, for example, which was nice, and then I went to Algeria, Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, that was something else, and I'm gonna go back to Algeria probably in next January or February.
Wow. Is that for a
So
show or what brought you to Algeria?
yeah, it's usually some kind of local manager or some kind of musical enthusiastic, some kind of promoter contacts me and asks if I'm willing to do some shows there, and they usually find
Wow.
me from social media.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I did a tour in Algeria, did 4 shows last time, and next time there will be 8 shows. So it
Wow.
keeps
You must have
growing.
done well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. And for example, Algeria, it's funny. I was at the north part of Algeria, and at that part, I was the first Western guy performing ever. So
Yeah, I was going to say Algeria is not like the first country that comes to mind when you think of going to tour musically or something. So fascinating, man.
yeah, it was also, of course, a little scary, but nothing happened. And
Yeah.
since I tour as a solo artist, so I can use my backing tracks when the location is something like Algeria. So no point of taking a full band with you there. So it also allows me to do, I can a little bit smell like how's the audience tonight, if they're liking more metal or more something else. And for example, in Algeria, I found out that those guys are crazy for partying, for my surprise. So I
For
did
to
events
for what? What did they like?
like for they are mad for partying and listening some
Oh,
party music,
yeah.
whatever, more like techno oriented stuff.
Oh,
And actually, I have some music also from that genre, of course, with
jeez.
from guitar. So
Huh.
so I did that kind of more like dance rock
Yeah.
stuff there, and then I went to San Marino. It's a little country inside Italy, and let me think. Then I had some shows in Estonia also,
Wow.
and also in Kosovo. Kosovo,
Wow.
yeah, it's a cool country near to Crete, I would say, in southern Europe. Also, those guys, they were having their first rock festival ever. So I was playing there. It was a huge festival with something like 6,000 people in the audience, and there I went with my band, backing band. So that was amazing.
Yeah. Man, you get to
Yes.
be part of so many cool kind of like first things happening in a lot of these countries. How neat is that? Do you like going to
Yeah.
some of these more, uh, I guess, I don't want to say lesser known, but just countries that, you know, again, don't tend to get the big bands going there for big tours and stuff. They're a little bit more nestled away or whatnot.
Mhm.
Do you prefer doing that?
Yes, I love it. Of course, it's like having an adventure, but of course, the downside can be that they don't have any kind of experience of arranging concerts,
Yeah,
or you might have
sound.
some, yeah, you might have surprising problems with usually with sound stuff or PA or whatever. Uh, and But luckily so far it has been all good. And 2 weeks ago I came back from China. I was there playing in Music China exhibition in Shanghai.
Wow.
That was
Is there a favorite place that you have, or when you go to these places, do you get to
Mhm.
explore a little bit, you know, the local culture and all that, or is it pretty much in there, play and out?
It depends. For example, this tour in China, it was the most hectic tour ever. I did 14 shows in 6 days. So
Oh
it
my
was like
gosh.
5 shows per day, almost five, 4, 5, and then it was like sleeping only 6 hours, and then again let's go, and it was crazy. I was half dead when I came back, but yeah, it was nice. And also when touring like I do as a solo guy, I think I have the chance to explore the local culture a little bit better than if you would be there with a full band and organizers and stuff. So I usually
Yeah.
get to meet the local guys, and they take me to the local to see the local stuff. So I
Yeah.
really get the taste of how it's like in Algeria, for example.
Yeah, that's so cool because you're not just going there like as a tourist and going to like the
Yeah,
tourist attractions. You actually meet locals that show you the true, you know, culture, not just what, you know, the tourist stuff is like. That's just awesome. When you get
yeah.
back home, do you get kind of antsy? Are you like, man, I want to go somewhere else again, or is it nice getting back home?
It's usually nice to get back home, since there's something always waiting up behind the corner. And also I try to keep my tours not too long. They are usually like one a week,
Okay.
and then I come back. Uh, so then I like to do it so that I go there and do an intensive week and then come back, rather than just chill out for 3 days and do a show. And
Yeah.
you know, uh, yeah, it's usually nice to come back to your own safe place
Yeah.
here and
Yeah.
charge the
Familiar.
batteries. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And some
Yeah, of
places
course.
are so different from Finland that it can be a little exhausting to be
That
in
makes
the
sense.
yeah. So if
Just a
I had to
different
be,
environment. Yeah.
yeah, it can be a little chaotic sometimes.
I mean, that's just fascinating, though. And the fact that when you said, I couldn't believe it when you said that, you know, oh, they're kind of into techno and dance. So, you know, naturally I played some of that style of me. It's like, what style can you not do? Do you just have every possible style in your repertoire?
Yeah, exactly. I have something like 200 songs in my. I usually use my phone for backing tracks, and there are uh, over 200 tracks. And during the years of doing shows, I've gathered a versatile set of different music that I like to play, and there are songs that I like to listen to. I even have this one band here in Finland called Millennium Project, which is led by kind of like a DJ guy, and he does
Oh,
electronical covers and originals. The style can be, I think he calls it as a hard style music, and then we take my guitar and play it there, and it's very interesting.
that's fun. Yeah, that sounds really cool. So all those 200 songs, if someone were to just pick a random one, you could just play it right now. You have literally them all memorized.
Yeah, pretty much. Of course, there can be some gaps,
Right.
and I usually a little bit prepare myself if I'm going somewhere. I'm planning a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do these songs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, more or less, I can do them all.
Wow.
Yeah. The toughest ones are the classical songs. I have some. For example, I'm playing the Four Seasons by Vivaldi.
Oh,
All the four songs: summer,
wow.
winter, spring, and autumn. So those are tricky to remember if you're not playing them constantly. Yeah, but
Yeah.
if I if you compare some kind of average rock, metal, or pop songs to those, they are the easy ones.
Right. There's a big difference there, of course, as far as
Yeah,
technicality, right?
exactly. Yeah, and the classical stuff is full of notes. It's not like strumming chords or doing power
Mhm.
chords. It's
Yeah,
difficult
it's
stuff
intricate.
from start to finish.
Yeah. That's just
Yeah,
so cool how you can just adapt on the fly. You're like a jack of all trades, and that's just really cool.
yeah,
Someone needs guitars and they want it this style. You're the guy to go to.
yeah, yeah. I like to keep it that way. Of course, some guys um, they are only doing their own material, which is
Mhm.
also very nice. And of course, if I would be a super known guy, like let's say Steve Vai or somebody like that, nobody will ask those guys to do
Something else.
something else. Yeah, if you book Steve Vai to do a show, it will be his own songs, and of course that would be nice. But actually, when I started out, I was also like that. I was only playing my own stuff and kind of was a little, hey, this is my concert. I'm not going to do any covers, man. If you're going to come here, you're going to hear my songs.
Sure.
But then I realized if I want to have more shows and more audience, okay, I need to be more versatile, and that's not a problem because I love everything. So just starting to add more
Mhm.
different kind of songs into my repertoire and making those songs, I a little bit arrange them to be more in my style,
Your own, right? You're still making it your own, even if it's a cover. You add
Yeah,
your
exactly.
own. Yeah.
Flavor. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So cool. As long as you get to play the guitar, you're like, I'm good. I'll play. What do you need? Yeah. So it's just so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes somebody might ask me to do something where I have to say that's not my cup of tea. But
Yeah. How many times
those.
do people in the audience ask you to play Freebird?
Well, actually, Freebird, I think that's more a US thing.
Oh, okay. I see
But
that everywhere. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
anytime there's a band, it doesn't matter what they're playing. You have someone in the audience, oh, play Freebird. It's like, I'm
yeah,
sure they get so annoyed.
yeah. In Finland, they ask us to play Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Oh, okay. So that's the Freebird in Finland.
Exactly. It's like almost on every show. Hey man, play Paranoid, and then, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. But because they always ask that, I did my own version of that song, which is more like it's faster, it's more shredder, it has even some
Yeah,
techno stuff, and sometimes people get upset. Oh man, that's not Paranoid.
right.
It's a
Jeez.
little bit to piss them off.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, here you go. This is
exactly.
my version. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like you want to be cheeky, I'll be cheeky right back. So,
exactly. Yeah, that's it. But usually they are happy whatever I play.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if they come
Awesome.
to see a guitar show, they are not, they are not having too much expectations on what's going to come up.
Yeah.
And
And then
by
they're
the
not
time I've
disappointed.
yeah, and by the time I've done four songs, they have already had some metal and some classical and even some pop. So they are okay. Now we're having everything.
Yeah. Sweet. So, another thing I believe I read is that you have some sort of like record. You're like ranked as one of the fastest guitar players in the world. Is that correct?
Well, as a independent guitar player, you need to do stuff to get noticed,
Yeah.
and sometimes you have to do some not that serious stuff. You have to try out different things. And at some point, I was asked to take a part in this Finnish TV show called Record Factory, where people are doing records of on different things, you know, not like albums, but whatever. And so I went there and I did the official speed record in Finland, just to gain some
yeah, sure. But I mean, that's pretty
visibility.
cool. I mean,
Yeah. It was a way to get your face to television, and
yeah.
it worked out. And I was also in Finland's Got Talent TV show,
Oh,
playing guitar there. And again, I got this national commercial of myself in the
yeah,
TV.
this recognition. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a way to get more fans or viewers.
So you don't
it.
really care about trying to set these records or trying to, you know, do these feats of guitar prowess. It's just you're like, hey, this will get my name out there, and you know, it is what it is. But it's not something that you're overly concerned about.
No. It's about music, but of course, I love fast stuff, technical stuff. But of course, it has to be good, sound good, and it has to be musical, of course. But yeah, as I said, sometimes you have to do this kind of stuff to get noticed. And
Sure.
Yeah, and of course, I love to practice this technical stuff, so why not to use it?
Yeah. And so what is like your ideal, like if you got to just have your ideal, what's the word I'm looking for, like career, or just do exactly what you want to do and not try to do these other things, what would that be? Like if you didn't have to go play covers or to get more shows, if you could, would you want to be like a Steve Vai and just play what you want to play?
Yeah, I'm almost there. What I would love to do, to make it a little better, it would be nice to do more own stuff, of course. But I would still play these classical songs since I love those, and probably do some covers with my own terms. And I also teach here in Finland in a local music institute. So I love teaching, but I would quit that and have only my private lessons with students who really want to come to study with me. And as far as the shows go, I'm almost there. Of course, it would be nice to get more paid. Yeah. Sometimes it's really hard as a musician to get your bills paid, and
absolutely.
Yeah, I try to take every show they give me, and sometimes the pay is not good, and usually it's never high at my level. Let's put it that way. So you have to do lots of shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I believe that if you just keep on going and not give up, things will happen, and you just have to push it.
Yeah, cool. Is there anywhere that you haven't gone yet that you really want to go? Any country in particular?
Well, I have some fans in US where people have been asking for ages me to come there, but I haven't had a chance to come there, so that would be nice. Of course, it's a big country, so I don't actually know
where
to go. What would be the best choice? But I might have a show in Mexico next year, so that will be close.
Close, yeah. Maybe you could go up into California or something. You know, that's probably a good place. California or New York, something like that, where there's a lot of people. You know.
Yeah, I would imagine something like that. Yes, and of course, there has been some talks of having maybe some shows in Brazil.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I think Latin America is also a huge market, and
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They love,
especially
yeah.
yeah, especially Brazil. I think is they have lots of metal guys there and lots of
Yeah.
metal fans there and crazy
Yeah,
people.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
crazy metal people. Yeah.
yeah,
A lot of great power metal bands from Brazil, great guitarists from Brazil. So yeah, I mean, they just love that style, a lot. So I think that's a big market. That would be cool.
yeah, absolutely. And also I have a kind of unofficial manager in South Korea. So we are trying to build up, I think, in Asia. So
Awesome.
yeah, I would
You're
love to
gonna
go to
take over the world, man.
yeah, yeah. I think I have the best chances are for me are in the Asia area. So
Cool.
I would love to go to Japan also. I haven't been there yet. So
Wow. Fascinating. So and what are you working on currently? Do you have any new projects on the horizon that you're working on that you want to kind of talk about or tease a little bit?
um, yeah, I'm well as a session guy. There's something going on. I'm recording 3 albums at the moment.
Three.
One of
Wow.
yeah, one of those are is a Renegade Angel
Hmm.
EP, and
I'm
then
looking
there
forward to that. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be very cool. And I have a feeling that something will, or hopefully will, come up with that band. Maybe even some live stuff. So let's see. Yeah, and some other uh, bands too, which I cannot
Sure.
probably tell yet. And but I'm also starting to plan to record my next album. I have some songs demoed already, and so I'm working on with that. And
Will that
basically,
be
next year
different
is
from your previous? I'm sorry, I was going to ask with the new studio album that you're working on your solo. Will that be different from what you've released previously, or will it be in the same vein?
same vein probably, and I think I am gonna broaden up the stylistic barriers even more.
Cool.
Yeah, and because it's my solo album, I can do whatever I
Yeah,
want.
that's right.
Yeah, but
Like,
still, the challenge is try to make it all correct, as you said.
mhm.
So that's important also that the full album has to be some kind of how to say it like mm, one full thing and not just pieces.
Yeah, it's got to feel complete,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
self-contained, and not just all over the place.
exactly. Yeah, and then there's gonna be lots of live shows next year, so those always take a lot of time to
Oh, yeah.
prepare and have the visas and to plan things. So I think next year will be a touring year again, like this year.
And
Yeah.
then do you just keep like a suitcase just fully packed at all times so you can just grab it and go?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I'm
Almost.
trying to travel light, so
Yeah.
it's easy nowadays when you're having all the technology,
Yeah.
which is getting smaller and better, and they're
One
like
thing
you're.
I've always been
Mhm.
curious about is traveling like with the guitar. Is that
Yeah.
difficult? Do you have to bring multiple guitars and then you have to get them checked or
Mhm.
whatnot? And do you get scared that it might get lost?
Yeah, I get scared, and I take a little risk by only having one guitar with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just have to do it. Sometimes the locations are so it can be a little tricky. For example, going to Algeria and having lots of plane changeovers, and
Oh,
you never know what to expect when you're at the location. So I try to travel as light as possible.
mhm.
So I'm having my guitar in my bag, and my backing music is here in my phone, and then I'm
Perfect.
having my guitar sounds coming from Quad Cortex by Neural DSP. It's a this size device.
Wow.
which goes into the suitcase, and it's very good quality, and it's small, so it's easy to travel with. And yeah, last time I was in Algeria, they lost my guitar at the.
They did.
Yeah, they did, and I had to wait for it for 1 full day.
Well, at least you got it, and it only took 1 day. Like, luckily, it
Yeah,
wasn't like, oh, that's terrifying, though.
yeah, it's a unique guitar, and I cannot lost it. And actually, we had some luck to find it. It wasn't an easy thing to find it actually. So
Wow.
it was yeah, but it went
But it
well
all
in the
worked
end.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly. Yeah. So sometimes
Cool.
the air companies screw up and lost your stuff,
Yeah.
as you
Yeah,
know.
that's like you said, it's always kind of a risk you take when you're having to travel and, something might get lost, but luckily they
Yeah,
found it.
yeah, and also if it's also a little bit my fault if I would play normal guitars, if I would be happy with a 6-string Stratocaster, no problem, because they will have those guitars in every country. But I'm using
Yeah.
my 8-string signature guitar, so I really need to travel with that, and it's always a little risky.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
so cool though. You got another solo album in the works. You got some projects. You got Renegade Angel that'll be coming out soon, the EP. And then you got a couple
yeah,
other bands you're working with. I know you can't disclose, but that's cool. You got another couple bands that you're part of. And yeah, last question I want to ask you is
yeah.
because it's something that popped in my head is
Mhm.
what I don't know like all the intricacies of like a guitar and all that kind of good stuff. So what is the benefit and what's really the difference of playing an 8-string versus 6-string? What additional um like those strings, what note are they, and what does that offer?
Yeah, it's basically like having more notes. When you're having more string, you're having more notes and more range, musical range. It's the same thing as if a drummer would have more drum parts. If he just
Gotcha.
feels, hey, yeah, I need more crashes and more
Yeah,
sometimes or
more
whatever.
toms. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can have those. And with piano, well, it's so you have all the notes almost there in
Yeah.
piano. You can go
Yeah.
super low and super high, so you don't have to have more notes in piano. But in guitar,
Can't have like 188 strings on a guitar.
no. But if you want to go a little lower, a little higher, for example, like in piano,
Hmm.
then you have to have more strings or tune up your guitar
Hmm.
differently. And the way I think it, I want to have the normal 6-string guitar, so I don't have to play with the tunings. And then I'm having 2 extra low strings.
Oh, gotcha. So you
Yeah,
can
so
use them
there,
if you want to or need to.
yeah. Some guys that are using 8-string guitars, they might have 1 extra low string and 1 extra high string.
Oh, okay.
So you can set it up as you want. But I feel that if you're having an extra high string, it's it's too high. You, at least for me, I don't need
Hmm.
those super high notes
Hmm.
that are like buzzing your ear or sounding like
Like
some.
nails on a chalkboard almost.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. Yeah. So I'm going lower to the bass register,
hmm.
and why? Because I like low frequencies, low notes, like bassy stuff, and
Hmm.
in metal music, those low notes can be very effective when you're hitting a power chord.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah.
and
Heavy.
also,
That's metal. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But also, since I like to play these classical piano pieces with guitar,
Hmm.
it's impossible with normal 6-string guitar because of the large range of a piano,
Hmm.
especially with the low notes. Piano can go a lot lower than normal guitar, so now can I also. So it's a lot easier to do those classical stuff. And also, non-guitar player cannot understand this, but actually playing with extra strings makes your playing actually more easy, because if you're playing let's say 3-octave thing, with normal guitar you have to start from the low of the neck and go all the way to up and
all the way across.
Yeah, this way. But with string guitar you can do the same thing from one position, just starting from the low string. So actually you don't have to move your hand this way at all.
Wow.
Yeah, and many guys don't understand this, that actually it allows you to play horizontally and vertically, depending
That's
on
cool.
on your feeling or whatever.
That's like an insider tip right there.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what you could do with this idea, you could actually take off the frets from the neck. You can shorten the neck, and if you add strings, then you could only play in this direction.
That direction. Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. and if you take away the more you take away strings, the more you have to move this way.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, because you're trying to do the same thing, but you have to do it across, as opposed to just adding the more layers that way. Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, I never thought of that before.
Yeah, so this allows you to do crazier stuff in one position, which would be normally very difficult because you have to do all these jumps.
Yeah. So those like 12-string guitars where they got it's like the two guitars kind of attached, with like a horizontal thing. Have you seen those or played those? Does that make it easier too? Like, even though it looks like insanely crazy to have like two guitars there that you're playing, but
well, a normal 12-string guitar is equal to 6-string guitar. It only has like double strings. So it has 2 E strings, 2 A's, 2 D's, and you played normally as you would play with a 6-string guitar. But as you're pressing one string, you're actually pressing 2.
Oh.
So it only kind of sounds like there's 2 guitars at the same time, and it sounds rich and nice. Yeah.
It's like it sounds layered. Gotcha. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not that much more difficult than if you would be playing a 6-string guitar.
Wow, so cool. There's so much that you can do with all that stuff, but that's just fascinating. To hear about it. But I mean, so exciting what you got going on. So cool what you do, and so awesome.
Thanks,
talking with you, man. Just really, really neat stuff. And for everybody watching out there, I'm going to put all kinds of good stuff in the description down below. Links to Samuli's social media, links to his solo albums, links to projects he's part of, links to lessons, right? You want to jump on there and do a lesson with them, just links galore. So go explore all of that, go see all that, follow him on social media and check out his material. Go have fun, click those links and enjoy. And one last time, thank you, sir, so very much for taking the time to chat with me. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure, man.
Thank you, man. Pleasure is all mine. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Catch you all next time. Ranger,
right on.
Out.